Hello friends, welcome to the Basics of Geography series. And this is our IGNEOUS Conclave Institute, which provide you free as well as premium videos. And for more such premium videos, please subscribe our YouTube channel. And this is our initiative for Geography Incubation Series for Civil Services Examination, and especially for those students who lack command in their basics. So I am Rohit Mandan here to facilitate you on strengthening your basics of geography. Now look at what we will cover today. We will cover igneous textures. Okay, in igneous textures we have covered what are textures and other properties of the rock textures. So you can refer our YouTube videos on our IGNEOUS Conclave channel. Today we will look at the types of the igneous textures. So there are 6 types of the igneous textures which are controlled and which are determined by the cooling rate, dissolved gases in the magma, and the silica content of the magma. And this is how we already have covered this our aphanetic fine grain textures, phaneritic textures, coarse grain, and now in this session we will cover this porphyritic textures. So हम देखेंगे what are porphyritic textures. Now in this is how magma erupts, and different types of the textures form in the simultaneously. If it is intrusive, then there will be a very coarse grain. If it is upper, in the upper sides, you will find the aphanetic textures. Now in this section we will cover these porphyritic textures. So porphyritic textures, as you have seen, these form under the subsurface conditions. Okay, not beneath the earth and not on the upper side of the earth. Okay, now look at the what are porphyritic textures. Porphyritic textures hote kya hai? We have to understand this. Okay, now before we understand these porphyritic textures, so what are porphyritic? Porphyritic means when extra large, when okay, so when extra large crystals are embedded in the fine grained crystals matrix. Okay, so when in fine grained crystal matrix these extra large crystals are embedded, this term is called as porphyritic textures. Okay, now what happened in this? A large mass of the magma requires thousands or even millions years to solidify, and if in the process of the solidification it minerals crystallize. But we know that as per the Bovin was a scientist, Bovin's reaction series. What Bovin told us that every minerals have a different rate of crystallization as per their melting point. If any minerals have a higher melting point, it cooling and it solidify and it crystallize firstly. Okay, if the melting point is very low, like in the silica rich minerals, it will crystallize slowly and in the late process. Okay, so this what Bovin's reaction series told us. Okay, now because different minerals crystallize under the different environmental conditions, okay, like in the different pressures and temperature conditions, so it is possible for the crystals to of one minerals to become quite large and other minerals to begin to form. Now it is possible for porphyritic textures. It can be in basaltic, either in basaltic, andesitic, and either in the felsic. It is not depend upon that key. It will only available in the basaltic or in andesitic or in felsic. So it can be found in the any of the 3 types of the igneous composition. Now look at the depict how it look like the porphyritic texture, because जब तक हम नहीं देखते उस rock का diagram नहीं देखेंगे, we could not be able to understand and imagine कि what are porphyritic textures. So in this diagram you can imagine कि what are porphyritic textures. तो porphyritic textures क्या होते हैं? The large crystal in porphyritic rocks are called, these are the large crystal, and these large crystal in porphyritic, they are called phenocryst. So phenocryst क्या होते हैं? Phenocryst are the extra large crystals which are embedded in the fine grain, or these fine grain textures are called as ground mass. This is called as ground mass. इसको हम बोलते हैं ground mass. Now another example, in depiction you will completely imagine and easily imagine, you can easily imagine. So these crystals are phenocryst and this remaining is ground mass. So this is how we can understand the porphyritic texture. So in the upcoming session we will cover other textures, because we have covered the phenolitic and amphonetic textures को हम cover कर चुके हैं. So in upcoming session में we will cover the glassy and other type of the similar structures. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई तो please share and subscribe our videos and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you guys.